Hey,
I am live.
she says she's live, y'all. She's live and in color. I guess
I
we
am. It says here, welcome Facebook. Hopefully it's coming up. Maybe it's buffering, but according to this, I
no.
am live.
Hi, Tangi. Hi, Catherine. It was me. Sorry, you guys. We're live.
Welcome to another Financial Fed Friday. So as soon as I can figure out how to get my progress again. So as you all know, if you're new joining us, this is a webinar that we do every Friday morning at 10 a.m. And we also broadcast live simultaneously on Facebook. And what we're doing with this series is that we're pulling back the curtains so that you can get an in-depth understanding of your federal benefits, however, and your best retirement investment options. So you don't need to work for the federal government. You just need to be working to be able to appreciate the information that we're giving. You can register if you want to be on the live broadcast at www.ritabrollinevents.com. And of course, if you're watching us from Facebook and you want to spread the word, you can look us up at Your AV Solutions. Now, I am Darlene Jenkins, and my partner,
Dr. Rita B. Rowland.
Dr. Rita B. Rowland. So spread the word, like us on Facebook, and pass the word to join us on the live webinar itself. And while we're going through our purpose, if you could just really quickly type in, and that includes you on Facebook, because we know we have people watching from all over the country. If you could just let us know where you are tuning in from, that would be great. So if you could just quickly just type in, hey, I'm in DC, I'm in Baltimore, I'm in Atlanta. Hey to all of my Atlanta family out there. We also have our other team members that are on Facebook helping us. I want to give a shout out to Miss Javon Walker, soon to be, what's her new last name going to be? Richardson?
Girl, just keep going. She messing up Javon.
I know, I'm sorry, Lawrence, but the whole purpose of this Financial Fed Friday series is just to help you understand your benefits, your money, spending habits, and to support and offer solutions to you and your family that will enable you to reach your financial destination. So before we get into the material, we just want to say that our webinar series are very general in nature. Without knowing your specific situation, we can't individualize this presentation for you. So please accept the information as general in context, and what can apply to you, please, if it fits into what you're doing, use it. But otherwise, you can give us a call, Rita and myself, and we can create an individualized program for you. So thank you so much for understanding. So April, as you know, is Financial Awareness Month. So we are springing into financial awareness. And today we're going over, our topic is pruning your financial bad habits. We all have them, and we all have to nip them in the bud. Excuse me. So right now we're getting ready to jump into how do we detox our financial bad habits. We're always, centered on our body. We need to detox. We're trying to get ourselves together physically. Well, let's get fiscally fit as well and detox those finances. So what we're going over are the financial bad habits that we are trying to prune. The very first one, and I'm really talking to myself too, you all, is impulsive buying. Impulsive buying. That's where we go into the store, or we get an email or a circular, and we see these little tags that are hanging here. 50% off, buy one, get one free. If you're on here right now or on Facebook, how many of you have gone to the store to, let's say, I need to pick up some pantyhose, and I'm going to go to Macy's, and then you walk out, not with your $12 pantyhose, but with $150 worth of merchandise? How many of you have ever done that?
I know I have, and I've done it. I've talked about it where it wasn't $150. I bought $500. I bought 3 suits, and I tell you guys, these ads on these you gotta Whatever computer you order stuff off, use something that you're not gonna see, because you order one time. I ordered one time from one of them sites, and on every email, and all they do is stream you new outfits. You like, oh, I like that. Then you click on it, then it's 21. It's only $21. It's only $33, and now you got 2 orders worth $200 each that you didn't even need had you not seen it. So truly, impulsive is buying out of that emotion because you see it and all of a sudden you want it. My mom would always say, your eyes is bigger than your stomach. Our eyes is bigger than our pockets.
Absolutely. And one thing to consider when you are doing when you have impulsive buying, then that also wrecks your budget. When you go out to shop, whether it's for your groceries or your clothes or a car, do you have a budget? All of this comes back to the foundation of having a budget. Where is your budget? And some of us may say, oh, well, I only did it this one time. But if you're not careful, impulsive buying can become a habit. And as Rita said, when we do impulsive buying, what is the root cause of that? So when you have to make sure, this is one bad habit that we have to cut out and be just mindful of. Do I really need it? Is it in the budget? If it's in the budget, hey, I happen to be in here with 50% off, I can get it. If it's not in the budget, then hang it back on the shelf. You need an accountability partner. We have one. Her name is Sophia Price. So that's the first bad habit that we need to cut down on, impulsive buying. Now, the next one is shopping to be happy. Have you ever needed a mood change? And, like people will say, oh, I'm going to get some retail therapy. You had something happen to you and you are feeling sad. If you have ever done that, just type in yes real quick. Because do you know the reason you feel happy is that when you're out shopping like that for a mood change and you're buying stuff, it actually releases endorphins in your brain. That's why you feel happy, because you're out just spending. But the money that you are spending shopping to make yourself feel happy, and you can also fall into a habit that when you are not in a good space, well, I'm just going to go out and I'm going to do some retail therapy to make myself feel better. Well, when you do that, you are again wrecking your budget. So when you're out feeling happy at Macy's or Nordstrom's, for me, you all, it's Ashley Stewart. I love me some Ashley Stewart. Now, if I've spent $150 in there, that's $150 that I don't have to go someplace else. Does that make sense? Rita, I see we have some comments here.
We got a 1 or 2 yes, and we actually have on the line on Facebook, we got people calling in from Branson, Missouri, DC, who welcome Mr. Pitts, welcome Miss Lisa Thompson. And darling, you're talking about shopping to be happy, and the unfortunate part, we're only happy in the moment that we shop. And that when we purchase out of an emotion, it's connected to that emotion. And so when that emotion comes back, we go right back to shopping. And so we haven't really shopping because we really want something. Many of us, especially women, got more pair of shoes and stuff that we want because we felt the need to go out so it can fulfill something. I had a $500,000 house based on things that I thought would make me happy. And all it did would make me become more in debt. So this thing is real, having systems in place to help you. But more importantly, I know you guys don't expect to get anything Christianity here, but for at the end of the day, we got to deal with the soul and deal with those emotions, deal with the mind and the body and the soul that's connected to this place that's unhealed. The unhealed places lead us to more unhealed places. So for me, being unhealed, feeling broken, feeling all of these emotions caused me to buy things so I could feel good, because I didn't feel good about me. I wasn't happy about who I was. My self-image was low inside. On the outside, you saw this very successful woman, I got it going on. But inside, I didn't feel that way. So all of the purchasing and the buying and just spending was connected to those feelings. So are you shopping based on a feeling? Are you buying houses, cars, traveling, trying to keep up with the Joneses? All of that is based on something else and not truth. And we got to start to live in truth.
Exactly. And what I want you all to do, because this is for you, we want you to be more hands-on and a part of this. So as I'm going through these financial bad habits, now keep in mind, the first one was impulsive shopping. On a piece of paper, I want you to write down which of these bad habits you identify with or tend to practice the most. And then at the end, after we've gone through them all, now that's where the work will begin. So shopping to be happy, it can lead you into a further debt trap. Uh-oh. Ignoring your debt. So now you have been out shopping, impulsive buying. Again, it doesn't have to just be for clothes. It can be at the grocery store. I am guilty of that. But ignoring your debt and not having a debt plan, how to get rid of it. Oftentimes when we're out shopping and we're using that little plastic card, our credit card, the store card that we love to go to the most, now we think, oh, okay, I'm going to pay it off. I'm going to pay it off. And sometimes it can catch up with us. So what plan do you have in place to get your debt paid off? Or sometimes we can feel so overwhelmed that when the bills come in, they go into the bill drawer. And we're like, oh, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to it. And then the next thing you know, we're checking our phone. Oh, I don't have any friends and family that are going to call me from a 188 number or 1877. And now they got 1855, y'all. Don't ask me how I know that. I just heard it from somebody. So ignoring your debt, putting it away, that can lead to costly late fees. If you don't get it in on time, oh, I meant to pay it. It was due on the 13th, but we have so much going on in our mind and it's the 14th. And now that's another $32 late fee on top of the interest. And then what is your plan to get out of it? What system do you have in place to pay off your debt? One of the things that happens when you sit down with Rita and myself is that we go over your budget. And if you have a lot of debt, we help you create a debt plan. Do you have a debt plan to get you out from under the situation that you have right now? Now, here we go. You have this debt. You don't have a debt plan.
Hold on for a second.
One of the reasons.
Okay, you guys, she got to go back. She's just a talker. She ain't giving her part of the time to talk. But we go back.
Let me go back. Wait a minute. Stay with me, y'all. Let me see. Oh, I did it.
This is something that's very important for you to, many people feel because they don't have money, they don't want to deal with it. So they just ignore it. So what is important to do is to make sure when the people call you, pick up the phone, have a conversation. Things get worse and they escalate because you won't talk to them. So for me, I always, even when it was the worst for me back in the 90s, I was a mess. But I never ignored the phone calls. I told the people I had no money. I said, I got $10. I will send you the $10. Or if I made a promise, I will keep my promise. And everybody knows about timeshare. I had 3, but that first one was really rough for me. It was the second, I don't know which one. But I didn't always keep money. And the people would call me and I would say, look, I'm going to pay y'all on the 15th. Can we draft your account? No, you can't draft my account because I'm not sure if it's going to be in there, but I am committed. When the money came, I would pick the phone up. After about a year of them calling me back and forth when I get it, she said, Ms. Bailey, we've told the management knows not to call you, that you're one of the only people who say what you're going to do and you're going to do it. Even when I was late, they had confidence that I was going to pay it because every time I said I was going to do it, I actually picked up the phone to call them. Do not run from your bills. They can't come steal you, beat you up, put you in jail. They only gets worse. You only get liens. You only get those things because you do not communicate. Everybody needs to hear from you. You owe them. Actually, you do. That doesn't mean you get to be harassed. I remember when somebody told me, remember, Miss Darling, it was like 2000. He asked me, well, can you ask your mother for the money? This is a bill collector asking me, can I ask my mother to borrow it? I asked him, if you owe somebody, would you ask your mother to borrow it? And he was like, ma'am, I'm sorry if I offended you. I said you did, and you were really out of line. They don't get to treat you any kind of way because you owe. Put together plans, sit down with us, and we have programs outside of us. We use experts because we're not an expert in everything, but we have programs that can actually help you get your debt paid off in a third to a half of the time using the system and sticking with it.
Yes, and with that, your credit score also increases when you use the program that Rita is referring to. So you definitely want to get on that. What is going on? Now, number 4, using your credit cards like it's free money. It's not free money. And let me tell you, one of the traps that we have to be careful about with our credit cards. See, credit cards are a double-edged sword, especially if you have points that are attached to it. So when we go in there using our credit card, we're saying, oh, well, I'm getting points for this purchase, justifying it in our mind. So now that's going to give me, if you're getting $1 for every purchase or however they do it, so you see that amount adding up, but then your balance is adding up as well. So just like it can be used as a tool, okay, well, I made this purchase to get the points. Do you have the money to pay it off? If you don't have the money to pay it all off or get it paid, the complete balance paid off of your new purchase within 2 payments, then you might need to delay that. Because if you're just charging it, well, I know if I use this credit card, I'm going to get the points, and you can't pay it off, guess what? It's adding to the debt, and now we're back at bad habit number 3, where Rita said, you know, hey, now we're running from our bills. We don't want to deal with it and talk about it. But when we don't deal with it and talk about it, we're turning control over to someone else instead of us being in control.
And you're charging something for $30 and you're paying $100 for with interest because it took you that long to pay off the bill. So truly, is it worth it?
Exactly. Is it worth it? Now, complaining about your paycheck. I don't have enough money. They're not paying me enough on this job. I need more. No. And I'm not saying you don't need a raise. You're not being paid what you're worth. But what you really need in terms of your finances is a plan. You need a plan because it's not how much you make, it's what you do with what you make. Does that make sense, Rita?
No, absolutely. I mean, you sometimes, this is very hard for me because sometimes I want to get into the truth of the matter. And the truth is, money is a spirit, and if we disrespect it, it will disrespect us. And so we can't expect our job to give us more when we haven't even taken care of what we already have. And one of the things I talked about last week and I taught at a conference, and I'll say this to you, sometimes we enter in contracts, what's the word? With not an honor. So we have a resume or application and we lie on it. And then we expect our job to do something miraculous for us and honor us and what we want. But we started that relationship off in a lie. And so we just need to begin to see things as they are and in truth, because when we deal with it in truth, we then can expect truth to come back to us, because the word won't lie and truth will not lie. When we give something, when we plant good seeds, we grow good harvest. When we plant bad seeds, we grow dead things. So it's just important for us to understand your paycheck. My dad taught me a very important lesson. I know we got to move on. When I went to go see him a few months before he retired to help him with his retirement, he was making $37,000 at the time. At the time, him and my stepmom together was making probably half or about let's say 40% less than what I was making by myself. But them two had a house, 2 cars, a child in college, credit, they was traveling, they had timeshares, they tithe, they did everything they want, and they had investments. When I was walking to the car, the Lord said to me, Rita, it's not how much you make, it's what you do is what you make. This man makes 30-something thousand, and he actually has more than you who make singly 3 times that. So 4 to 5. So it's important to understand. Don't complain about it. Put a plan in place. How will it work for you so it can give you back what you want and you can earn what it is that you deserve? Let's go.
Absolutely. Now, this is a big one. If you are working and you have some sort of payroll mechanism that you can set up, not having automatic saving deductions coming from your paycheck, you have to build good savings habits. We are not talking about, we're going to get into what your employers are doing, but just having a system set up. If you're not setting up a system to save automatically, for a lot of people, that means you're not going to be saving. I don't know who you bank with, but there are a lot of banks out here, rather, where you can have, if you make a purchase, the cents, you use your debit card, then the remaining cents, like if you do a debit for $3.26, then that other remaining change to that dollar, they put it in a savings account so that it can automatically start saving for you. We have to start learning to live on 70% of our pay. We have to save, pay our taxes. If you go to church, tithe. Everybody does stuff differently, but it has to be set up automatically. We believe in out of sight, out of mind. If you have it automatically coming out of your check, you won't see it. And this is the other thing too. We don't have it up here. If you have it automatically going into account for you to save, don't have a debit card for it. So now instead of being a savings account, it's your put and take account. I put it in automatically, but then I go take it back out before the end of the pay period. Why? Because I don't have a budget and I don't have a plan. Go ahead, Rita.
Not only that, make sure that you don't have it connected to your account online where you can just go online and transfer from your check into your savings. And don't make your real savings account your overdraft protection account. They can't be the same. Your overdraft protection is one account. Your savings is another. So if you separate them and begin to just come up with a system in place, it's just important for us to take advantage of our money and to spend time. The rich spend 30, 40 hours a month on their money. How much time do you spend on your money, on your bills, on your savings, looking at it, creating a plan for it, seeing how, okay, this month I failed, this month I succeeded, this month I was on budget, this month I was off, what happened? So just pay attention, and that's what we can do. We can help you bring that into fruition. Let's go.
Now, also not planning for college expenses or trade school if you have a child. I can speak to this. If you don't say it, when your child is small, even though if you have a desire for your little one to one day go to school, you need to start saving, even if it's $5, just putting it away, because eventually that $5 will grow into $20 that you can put away. $50, $100, 18 years seems like a long time. I'm going to do it. And then before you know it, your child is 16 going on 17 like mine. And I'm looking like, oh my God, I procrastinated too long. And now I have to save even more. Also, when you're planning for college, it's more than just the tuition that you need to be concerned about. It's all of the other expenses, the living expenses. Are they going to live on campus, off campus? They need to have money. They need to get their hair done, haircuts, gentlemen. They need money in their pocket. They have to eat. My child is very finicky. If you pay for the meal plan through the college and then she doesn't like, or he doesn't like anything, now they're saying, oh, well, I need some money to get something to eat. The reason the children gain that freshman 10, 20, 30 pounds is because they don't like what they serving in the cafeteria. So they're eating a bunch of junk food. Looking at whether you're saving a 529 or, setting up an account. We have a plan that's through one of our insurance carriers that's paying 3%. That's just a straight savings, 3%. And if you have children and you have not saved, your retirement account is not their college fund.
Absolutely.
Because you're at the end or approaching the end of your working years. So if you give them your retirement money, now you are unconsciously putting them on the hook to take care of you, because you won't have any money. You've spent it getting them through college, and they're at the beginning of their working years. Those student loans, let them get it first. We want to do so much for our children, and it's to the detriment of the old Darlene that's coming, to the old you that's coming. It's okay to let our children fend for themselves. This is the real world that they're going to be entering into. So we can't spend all of our retirement money getting them to college. Save first. Go ahead, Rita.
And that's why it's so important that for every life event that you come back and reassess your finances. So when you graduate from college, that's a life event. When you get your first job, that's a life event. When you get married, that's a life event. Or if you have a child, that's a life event. You buy a house, all those things, you have to come back and reassess your finances and your goals and what are you trying to accomplish, because having a child already is expensive just to feed them, clothe them, especially an infant. I hear it's $250, $300 a week just for daycare. I get it. But that's where planning comes into play. If you plan on having a baby, and even if you didn't plan, how do you adjust so that this day, when it comes, that you're not having to refinance your house and, like Darlene said, draining your retirement plan. Planning is critical, and that to have this, because we don't feel we have enough, so we don't plan. But there is a day that's going to come where you're going to have to spend it, and either you have to spend it later at a much higher risk and rate, or you spend it at a lower rate early and planning and being proactive.
Absolutely. And this is very important. If you are working, and I'm assuming most people in here are working, and you have an employer match, if you are not taking advantage of, meaning you are contributing up to get the maximum match that your employer is offering, you're missing out on money. And not creating multiple streams of retirement income. Oh, I just have what my job is going to offer me. Well, have you looked outside to see what else you can invest in? Tax-free retirement. These are all things that, are available that your employer is not going to be talking to you about. It's very important. If you have the TSP on your job, the government matches you up to the, 5%. Your plan, if you're not doing 5%, you have to put a plan in place. How do I get to 5%? You're not doing the max contribution in your retirement plan, but you have a fully loaded cable package, and you keep buying these new phones, and you're paying $200-300 a month on cellular service and cable service, but you're not at the max for your matching contribution, or you're not putting any excess towards getting your debt paid off or setting up another stream of income. You have to put a plan in place to address these things.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, prevention avenue is this way. That's why you need to have multiple streams of income and do that employer matching. Not seeking professional assistance. Most people that have a financial planner or seeking some type of professional help, 54% of people say they feel more empowered when they're working with someone. Now, Rita and I know we've been doing this for well over 25 years. A lot of people, they'll say, oh, well, I know I'm not doing this. I don't have this in place. I'm embarrassed. I don't want you to see, meaning Rita and I or someone else, to know just how bad off, I am financially. I should be in a different place. I should have more. Well, let me ask you this. If you were having severe migraine headaches because you have been eating a lot of salt and bacon and pork, I'm naming all my favorite stuff, y'all, and you've been having really bad headaches, would you stay home because your doctor You don't want your doctor to know you've been eating bacon and all the things that has caused your pressure to go up and you're now having these headaches. Would you stay home and not go to the doctor until you got yourself together and then go in there and say, oh yeah, well, I used to have real bad migraine headaches. But I want you to look at me now and, tell me what's going on. You would not do that. If something is ailing you, you go right to that doctor. I'm concerned about what's going on. Look, these are all of the symptoms I'm having. Well, it's the same thing with your finances. That's the reason you go get help, because I'm trying to get out of where I am right now. The mind that got you to where you are cannot be the same mind you have to change to get you out. It's nothing wrong with having another set of eyes to look at what's going on in your situation to develop a plan to get out of the situation. So if you're not going to stay home from the doctor, you wouldn't even dream of staying home if you develop a rash on your arm right now. Now, some of us, old school, be like, wait a minute, I'm going to try to go get some Neosporin and Campho-Phenique. Oh, it's still not gone away. Okay, yeah, now I need to go. Have you put on all the salves and old solutions that old remedies you've tried? Well, if you've already done that, then now it's time to seek some professional assistance. Believe me, it's nothing that Rita and I, no situation that we either haven't been in or have not seen and
or
can
in,
help you.
Or still in.
Absolutely. We keep it real, y'all. So in summary, do something today that your future self will thank you for. So as we went through these bad habits, did you write down the ones that you most identify with? If you have, let's put a plan together. These are all of the services that Rita and I and our whole team here at Affordable Benefit Solutions can help you with. You need help with your retirement planning, post or before. I'm getting ready to retire. I'm already retired. I don't know what to do. Estate planning. You've accumulated all of these things. How do I most tax efficiently get it to my beneficiaries when I pass away? Insurance services, whether it's life insurance, retirement planning, disability, paycheck protection, long-term care. That's protecting your retirement income. For those of you who've been on here, I'm very passionate about long-term care and critical care. I'm in that situation right now. Debt and credit elimination. Not having a budget is going to put you right here at the bottom, needing debt and elimination services. And we have a program. If you're in that situation right now, it's nothing wrong with it. It's not falling in the river that gets you in trouble. It's staying in the river that will kill you. So, with that said, what's up next? May, we're planting seeds for your financial harvest. April showers bring May flowers. So now that's what we're going to be doing. So as we always say, planning is bringing the future into the present so that you can do something about it now.
Absolutely.
Our information is here on the screen. If you want to contact us, you can reach us here in our office at 301-577-6340. Again, that's 301-577-6340. Or you can email us at info at your, YOURA as in affordable, B as in benefits, solutions, SOLUTIONS.com. Info at yourabsolutions.com. Thank you so much for joining us. Let us help you chart your course to financial freedom. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been another wonderful Financial Fed Friday. We appreciate you. If you have any questions, please type them in right now. And when you come back next week at 10 a.m. live on the broadcast, don't you just come, you bring 3 with you. Spread the word. Do something good for yourself and your friends and family. We appreciate you, and we thank you for your time.
Thank you, you guys. She don't not sharing, so you can't see me, but
I am sharing.
You're not sharing. That's why they can't see me.
They can't see you. Technical difficulty. I don't know
She got to stop sharing her screen, y'all. That's when I'll show up. Bye, y'all.
Oh, okay. No. Okay. Wait a minute. Y'all don't go nowhere so y'all can see Rita. Okay, Rita, they can see you. I
don't know, but just everybody have a
great weekend. Someone has a
question. Oh, this Sheridan said, thank you, ladies. Yes, Rita, I did see you. Thank you, Sheridan.
Yeah, see, Rita, she's not that technically inclined. You all have a great weekend, everybody. See you, Facebook. Thank you for joining us.